The sound doesn't come from the storm. It comes through it, a single, hollow thud, followed by another. Not scratching, not howling, knocking. Daniel freezes mid-step inside the remote ranger station buried deep in Canada's Yukon wilderness. The generator hums low. The wind screams like something alive. Snow lashes the windows sideways. Then it happens again. A dull, deliberate thump against the steel door. Whatever is outside isn't panicking. It's asking. Daniel slowly sets his coffee down, his fingers tightening around the edge of the table. He's lived alone out here for 3 winters. He knows every sound the forest makes. Moose scraping antlers, ice cracking, bears pacing. This is different. Behind him, his sister Emily whispers, "Daniel, don't open it." He doesn't answer. He moves toward the security window, wipes the frost away with his sleeve, and peers into the blinding white. At first, he sees nothing. Then 2 eyes appear, amber, focused, unblinking. A massive gray wolf stands inches from the door, snow clinging to her thick fur. Her flank rises and falls unevenly. Blood stains the white ground beneath her hind leg. But she isn't snarling. She isn't baring her teeth. She's standing still, waiting. Then the wolf does something that sends a shock straight through Daniel's chest. She lowers herself and collapses. Not from aggression, from exhaustion. Emily gasps softly. The wolf struggles, then rolls slightly onto her side. And that's when Daniel sees it, movement. From beneath her chest, 3 small shapes squirm, weakly tiny wolf pups. They're clumped with ice, their cries barely audible over the storm. The mother lifts her head with visible effort and nudges them closer to the door. One pup doesn't move. She lets out a low sound, not a growl, a plea. Wolves do not approach humans. They flee or fight. This one has chosen something else. Trust. Emily's voice breaks. They're freezing. Daniel's instincts scream danger. A wounded wolf is unpredictable. One bite could end everything. But as he watches the mother wolf press her nose gently against the unmoving pup, he understands. She didn't come for food. She came because she was out of options. The storm worsens. The temperature plummets. That pup won't survive another hour. Daniel moves. He grabs a thick thermal blanket, a first aid kit, and jerky meant to last him weeks. He cracks the outer door just enough to slide the food outside. The wind explodes inward. The wolf doesn't lunge. She doesn't even glance at the meat. Instead, she nudges the jerky toward her pups, feeding them first. Daniel exhales sharply. She's not here to take, he whispers. She's here to save them. Emily looks at him. Then let's help. They open the emergency maintenance bay, a concrete room with radiant floor heating used for equipment storage. Warmth spills into the frozen air like a promise. The wolf watches. She understands immediately. With a strength born purely of desperation, she gathers the pups one by one, carrying them gently despite her injury. She drags herself inside and collapses in the far corner, curling protectively around them. Daniel and Emily watch through reinforced glass, barely breathing. The wolf lifts her head. Their eyes meet. She doesn't move. She allows them to enter. Emily steps forward first, her hands shaking, her heart hammering so loud she's sure the wolf can hear it. She kneels several feet away and gently wraps the smallest pup in the thermal blanket, the mother. Wolf tenses, then relaxes. She lowers her head to the floor. Submission, permission. Emily works quickly, warming the lifeless pup against her chest, rubbing tiny paws, whispering nonsense words through tears. Minutes stretch into agony. Then a twitch, a faint squeak. Life. Emily sobs openly as the pup's chest begins to rise and fall. The wolf inches closer and places her massive head beside Emily's knee. Not threatening, guarding. Daniel treats the mother's leg with antiseptic, his hand steady despite the sheer insanity of the moment. The wolf flinches but doesn't resist. Hours pass. The storm rages. Inside the bay, something sacred unfolds. The pups nurse weakly. The mother eats only when they sleep. Her eyes never leave them. At dawn, silence falls. The storm is gone. Sunlight spills across untouched snow, turning the world gold. The pups are awake now, clumsy, curious, alive. The mother wolf stands, strong again. Daniel opens the bay door. Cold air rushes in. The wolf gathers her pups and pauses at the threshold. She looks back, once locking eyes with the humans who defied nature itself to help her. Then she steps forward and presses her forehead gently against Daniel's hand. A moment so brief, yet so powerful, it steals his breath. She turns and disappears into the wilderness, her pups tumbling after her. Later that day, Daniel steps outside. In the snow, leading away from the station, are 4 paw prints, 3 small, 1 large, side by side. Proof that compassion is not weakness, that trust can cross species, and that sometimes the wild chooses us. If you were faced with a moment like this where fear and compassion collide, what would you do? Tell us in the comments below. Let us know where you're watching from. And if stories like this move you, like, subscribe, and stay with us. Because the wild still has stories to tell.